There's been a few reports of PS5s excessively overheating. There's been reports of newer games like Diablo 4, Final Fantasy 16 overheating the PS5 hardware. Lots of players are now reporting this overheating issue. All I know is that my PS5 hasn't been suffering and hasn't had any real issues since I got it on launch day in 2020. Now, what if you're not one of the lucky ones? What if your PS5 does overheat? Can you actually improve the issue without having to open up the console and do a drastic repair? Well, we've all seen these cooling bases and fans. There's in fact a ton of these cooling stands on the market. I mean, there's no way those cooling stands actually work. All they do is blow air into the solid bottom of the PS5. There's no air vents or any other features on the bottom. It's like blowing air onto a wall. It doesn't do anything. I guess they're just useless plastic. But is there any type of external cooling that works? Well, I recently got introduced to this, the Scry Arctic Cooler for PS5. The world's most advanced PS5 cooler. Is it scary good? Does it even work? Well, they have a Kickstarter running right now. Links to it are in the description below, so you can check that out for all the details and pricing. How does it actually work? Here's the box it comes in. Pretty small and light and nothing too bulky. On the back, we have all the main features they're claiming. It's got 6 hyperfluid fans, which are patent pending. The fans are really quiet. It's plug and play, and it does have LED lights. Let's open this up. Here on the top, we have the instructions. Seems to be a simple 3-step installation process. And then right under here is the cooler. That's really all you get in the box. No wiring or hardware to worry about. So right here are the 6 fans, 3 large ones on the top and 3 small ones on the bottom. This USB here plugs onto the back of the PS5 and powers the cooler. Now this is gonna blow air out the back. So these guys do understand that the PS5 has exhaust on the back. A lot of other cooling fans actually blow air into the exhaust. I mean, that's just plain wrong. Instead, you actually need to take that hot air from the exhaust away from the console. Now installing it is really simple. It's plug and play, no hardware or wiring. You insert the top clip onto the vent on the top right here. Fits like a glove, and then you insert the USB here for power. The bottom then snaps into the vent at the bottom, and there we go, perfect fit. It has a cutout here so you get full access to all the ports, even the one port the cooler is using. It does give it back right here. This is actually a super USB 3.0, meaning you can connect all your PS5's accessories to it. Everything will be compatible. I can go ahead and plug in all my wires, my HDMI cable, the power cable, and as soon as I turn on the PS5, the cooler turns on automatically. You can see the fan lights up, it does have lighting, and it's starting to work. It does look decent on the back, nothing out of place, nothing too bulky. Now keep in mind, this is a prototype here, so they did inform me that certain things are still being updated to improve the final production model. Keep in mind, it is a Kickstarter campaign. The good news is the concept here is good. The cooler takes the hot air from the inside and blows it out the back. It's not like one of those useless cooling bases that just blow air into a wall. And like I said, I've even seen some companies that actually blow air into the exhaust. Totally no understanding of how the cooling actually works on the PS5. The PS5 takes colder air from the top and the front and then sort of blows it out the exhaust in the back. It's similar to how PCs work as well. Now, I was impressed by some of the testing they've been showing off on their Kickstarter. Here you can see the increase in air flowing out of the console with and without the Scry cooler. And yeah, that hot air is flowing out of the PS5 and not in. It is an exhaust. Here's one of the temperature without the cooler on the left and then with the cooler on the right. Now, some of you might say, hey, that's just a thermal image on the outside and it doesn't really prove anything. Well, have a look at this. They actually mounted sensors inside the PS5. Look at the results, 86.9 degrees C before and 80.7 degrees after the Arctic cooler was installed. They also do claim a very low noise level. Here's a test showing a noise level below 40 decibels, and that's similar to the noise you see in a library. Now, the unit does turn on and off along with the PS5, but it does stay on if you put the PS5 to sleep. So make sure you're actually powering off the console so the fan turns off along with it. Now, I'm always skeptical with these coolers. This one at least has the right idea when it comes to how it functions, and the company has shown some decent test results on their Kickstarter. The pre-production model I got was a little bit loud, and the USB port on it worked with controllers and external hard drives, but it pulls less power and didn't work with the PSVR2 headset. However, the company did notify me of those issues beforehand, and that should all be fixed for the final product. Now excuse me while I go play my PS5 with this cooler on, so enjoy.